scientists fused the genes of multiple animals and developed an evolution serum designed to enable humans to survive on alien planets. Although it was just a prototype, it showed results beyond imagination. A man could hold his breath underwater for as long as 42 minutes, a physical feat that could be called a miracle. Yet the scientists were still unsatisfied, because humanity had little time left on Earth. The depletion of natural resources led to the outbreak of the Third World War, which worsened environmental degradation. 20 years later, half the Earth had turned into desert, crops had drastically decreased, and half of humanity was facing starvation. In search of a way out, scientists set their sights on Titan, Saturn's largest moon, the only planet in the solar system with an atmosphere, and an original ecosystem capable of sustaining life. However, the high concentration of nitrogen in the air and the extreme cold were still lethal to humans. So the scientists selected 5,000 volunteers to further enhance the human body. Soon, good news came from the experiment. All the volunteers showed a significant increase in physical strength, and they could complete a 10-kilometer cross-country run in just 20 minutes. Among them, Rick's transformation was the most successful, as he could sit underwater for an entire day. But soon the volunteers began to notice something unusual with their bodies. Their veins would suddenly turn a dark blue, only to return to normal moments later. At first, they didn't think much of it, until one night a man suddenly went wild and attacked his wife. The team quickly restrained him, but Rick noticed that the man's neck had sprouted two powerful muscles, and the strange symptoms didn't stop there. The air conditioning was set to -10°C, yet the man was sweating profusely. Even more bizarrely, his wife Abby noticed his back was starting to peel. The next day, the doctor personally came to examine him, but she just dismissed it as a digestion issue, and insisted that the serum wasn't the problem. However, that night, Rick began vomiting blood. Other volunteers also started showing strange symptoms. But the scientists didn't stop the experiment, and instead they initiated a second round of modifications. They injected Rick's eyes with 10 times the number of photoreceptor cells, greatly enhancing his vision. After the procedure, his eyesight improved dramatically, allowing him to see better than night vision goggles in the dark. But just one day later, he found himself completely blind. His eyes bled continuously, accompanied by intense pain. The doctors rushed him to the operating room, while Abby was kept outside. That night, Abby, waiting at the base, noticed a large group of soldiers gathering downstairs. It turned out that the deranged volunteer had lost control once again. He not only threw his wife out of the window, but also grew strange fleshy wings on his back. Abby was horrified as she saw his reflection in the window. When technology attempts to forcibly rewrite life, what it produces may not be hope, but a disaster beyond control.